So let's check the two sides for you. Charlton have their top scorer, Sean Bartlett, back after missing the last 5 games with knee trouble. He replaces Kevin Lisby, and Dean Kiely is back in goal after 2 games in which the manager Alan Kirbishley has had a look at the Dane Stefan Andersen. 2 changes for Palace, 1 in force with Danny Butlerfield in at right back for the suspended Gonzalo Sorondo. In midfield, Aki Riihilahti makes way for 19-year-old Ben Watson, who gets his first start since January. And watch for this, Wayne Routledge will be deployed on the left in a tactical switch. Well, in their dressing room beforehand, the Palace players were playing Eye of the Tiger by a group called Survivor to get them in the mood for this. They seemed relaxed, but they're looking for their first away win, frankly, since they beat Birmingham in October. This is Danny Granville. Hughes, the skipper, up to Routledge, who's out on this left-hand side. Ian Dowie, the manager, what a job he's done, regardless of whether Palace stay up. Now Leigertwood. Danny Granville on this side. Johansson with another of those unselfish runs into the channel. Gets the free kick as well. So, could this be an early moment for Crystal Palace? Looks like Watson's going to take it. And Palace with Popovic forward from the backhand. Fitzhall as well, and it doesn't reach any of them. Konchesky got it away. Comes out here to Hughes. And Crystal Palace with a real opportunity here, and Fitzhall nearly scored. It was a block by Kiely on his return to the side, but Palace so close.
Well, the first chance of the game. It's a great opening for Palace. Nice little ball from Michael Hughes. Danny Granville touches off his foot to Fitzhall, who I thought for a second had scored, but it produced a brilliant save from Kiely, back in the team today.
Watson. Played in again. This time Charlton are able to defend. It was Hughes that got it away. Granville looking for the 1-2. Hall coming forward from the back. He scored a cracking goal last week against Southampton.
He did. I was just about to say that. Last week he scored an exceptional goal, and when this fell to him, I fully expected him to score. In fact, it wasn't Kiely. It was a block that came in at the last second from Luke Young, and what an important challenge that was, because I think that Fitzhall was about to put Palace into the lead.
Big moment early in this relegation drama being enacted throughout the land today. And just to add to the drama, Fulham have scored against Norwich City. Fulham 1, Norwich City 0. The plot is thickening, and it will thicken a bit further, I can assure you, before the afternoon's out. Watson gets in there. That news will quickly filter through, I'm sure, from the Palace fans to their players. And that should lift them a bit more, because Johansson looks to break in behind. Fortune looked to just give him a little hand off, but nothing too much. And Southampton are leading Manchester United by a 1-0 as well. It's all happening.
Well, we've had 2 goals already from the relegation candidates, and it should have been a third, because really Fitzhall had a great opportunity, didn't he, to score for Palace.
Routledge. Goes for the return. Can Routledge get on the end of this? It bounced for him. Just took a little deflection on the way through, did it? Goal kick, says the referee Mark Clattenburg, but another hint of an opportunity there for Crystal Palace.
I think this took a deflection. It came off Karkouri, should have been a corner, but it was a nice little worked 1-2 by Routledge. He got in, tried to flick it over Kiely, but the challenge came in from Karkouri, definite corner, but Mr. Clattenburg didn't see it.
And by the way, the significance of that Southampton goal, if they win, Crystal Palace have to better the margin of Southampton's win, because they are one behind on goal difference at the moment. In other words, they have to win by 2 more. That is a problem, a real problem for Crystal Palace, if the Saints go on to secure the points against Manchester United. And just remember, if Norwich do beat Fulham, and they're behind at the moment 1-0, if they do, well, the other 3 are down. Norwich the only side with it in their own hands. Danny Murphy with the free kick. For Charlton, it was headed behind in the end, harmlessly enough, by Bartlett. There's always the question, isn't there, Trevor, with a side who really don't have anything to play for, how much they're really going to be up for it on the final day, like Charlton here.
Absolutely right.
Fulham leading Norwich 1-0. Southampton are 1-0 up against Manchester United. No score West Brom Portsmouth yet. 0-0 here, of course. Holland, Bartlett, and then Murphy. Johansson to chase it. Popovic, who's really wearing his heart on his sleeve in the cause you sense today. He's everywhere at the back there. Now here's some news that will interest the Palace fans and a few other people. Manchester United have equalised at Southampton. That's 1-1 now. Fortune, that's to nobody in particular. As Charlton were beaten last week by the champions Chelsea just before the presentation of the ceremony by a goal that was, well, it came from a penalty initially that was obviously outside the box, and Alan Kirbyshire just feels that's the way things have been going for them a bit lately. Butlerfield, much more edge about Palace, but you'd expect that. Soares trying to get him behind, but he got offside. When he played 3 times in league football before this season, Soares, so a real breakthrough year for the teenager. Kiely hits this long. Again, Popovic is there for Palace. Routledge is beaten by Luke Young. Now it's Matt Holland. Good little chip by Holland. Granville gets it at the second attempt. Murphy's cross hangs in the air. Kiely gets it, and even on this very hot day, he's got his trademark rather scruffy grey tracksuit bottoms on. They're almost a lucky omen, I think, for him now. Leigertwood to Soares. Often plays on the left, on the right today, and this slight little tactical tweak from Ian Dowie. Palace free kick. Had a lot of the ball, haven't created too much yet, Trevor.
No, but I think the Palace are the side that are playing with a greater determination. They're playing with more energy. Whenever the ball is loose, them 50-50s that are so important, Palace seem to be the one that want it more. They've only had the one opportunity, that's all we've seen in the game so far. but without doubt, this game is there for Palace to win.
Can they settle their nerves a little with a goal? Hughes, left foot or right foot of Watson. It's Ben Watson. It's good. It was well watched, well covered by Kiely. They're saying corner kick. Kiely's convinced he kept that in.
Well, that's a terrible decision by the assistant referee. Quite clearly, Kiely keeps that in. It's on the line. How the assistant referee can give a corner is quite baffling. It's a good shot from Watson. He's got the ability to strike balls from distance.
Here's the corner. Hughes goes back to Butlerfield. Hall gets it back in there. He did well, but there was not a white shirt on the end of it for Palace. Murphy. I'm sure that half-time Alan Kirvish, if it stays like this, will be saying to his players, look, we've got to give a little bit more than this to the fans on the final day here, because really they've been penned back the whole time so far. Young.
Well, at the moment, Ian, Alan Kirbishley's on the touchline. He's almost on the pitch. And normally at this stage of the game, he sat quietly up in the director's box. Well, not in the director's box, but up in the stand, just assessing the action. But obviously he's concerned, as is Mervyn Day at this moment. I think they're trying to change things, possibly looking to go to a 4-4-2.
Just been named, by the way, the greatest manager in Charlton's history in a ceremony pre-kick-off, Alan Kirbishley.
Well, the Charlton faithful are hoping that the latest change that Alan's made will prove beneficial, because it does appear that Johansson has gone up front to join Bartlett. And it means Matty Holland playing on the right-hand side of midfield.
Granville. Yep, they've gone 4-4-2, Charlton. Throw goes Charlton's way. But how interesting is this? Palace are in the situation where if they scored one, it would mean they were the side who would stay up as things stand on the afternoon. The incentive could hardly be greater. It's worth about £20 million, I reckon, to survive in this league. Kishlshev and Holland, despite having to play a little bit further wide right, he's still tucking in plenty. Hughes, Butlerfield gets in there but gives the ball straight to Murphy.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Ian. There won't be any natural width on this right-hand side. As Matt Holland, as we know, is more comfortable playing a central midfield role. He'll do that with Danny Murphy. And Kishlshev and Brian Hughes will remain on the left-hand side. They're hoping, of course, that Luke Young can get forward to provide the width on this right-hand side from the right-back area. Ben Watson up towards Tom Soares, the two teenagers together. Then Leigertwood. Danny Butlerfield. Good ball to Granville. Remember, Crystal Palace have won just once in 18 previous away games on their return to the top flight this season. It's not an encouraging record. They did win here, though, in the League Cup, 2-1. Now then, Routledge invited to hit it. Oh! And what a save by Kiely! That was on his way from Wayne Routledge, who hasn't scored this season. He nearly did here when it really mattered. Absolutely brilliant play this by Palace. Lovely little knockdown from Andrew Johnson into the path of Routledge, who absolutely smashes it on the half volley with his right foot, and it produces a quite brilliant save from Kiely. That ball, without doubt, was destined for the back of the net.
Agony for Palace, that. Twice they've been very, very close now. Hughes plays it in there. Popovic was there, but again Kiely, who looks like he wants to make a little statement that he is the #1 goalie around here, having been left out a couple of times lately.
Well, for the supporters behind Kiely's goal, when that ball left Routledge's foot, They thought for a second, as we all did, that it was destined for the back of the net. And if it had not been for such a brilliant save from Kiely, surely Routledge would have scored.
Fitzhall with the header, a player who arrived from Southampton. Of course, one of the other sides involved in this little argument. He's got a bit of a knock, Hall. Probably run it off. Let's see. Bartlett. Kishlshev. Good move here. Hughes. Can he make it 1-0? Oh, yes, he can. Off the post. Charlton's first real attack, and they have scored through Brian Hughes. That is a hammer blow for Crystal Palace.
I know all about Brian Hughes' finishing. He's an excellent finisher. Once he gets into that box, you can always back him to score. What I like about this goal is the run that he makes from the wide area. Comes narrow, receives the ball, takes possession, needs the post, but it's a brilliant finish despite the challenge of Danny Butlerfield. Hughes beats Kiely in off the post, and you have to say it gives Charlton a rather undeserved lead.
First ever Premiership goal for Charlton, that, for Brian Hughes. His other three this season were in the FA Cup. What a time to score it. And he's done it too against the team of his old teammate at Birmingham, Andrew Johansson. That's set the Charlton fans alight. They want to win this. This is the South London derby, of course. And Palacc will be reflecting on the cruelty of life at the bottom.
Well, the home supporters have been very unhappy with the opening half an hour. Plenty of criticism around me for the way that Charlton have been performing. You'd hope now, if you're a Charlton supporter, obviously not if you're a Palace supporter, that this will give the players some sort of lift, because they've been second best all over the field for the opening half an hour. And as I mentioned this now, this lead is so really undeserved.
In off the post, Trevor.
Yes, doesn't matter how they go in. Brian Hughes will accept that, as will the Charlton supporters. It's tough luck on Crystal Palace, who have been very good in this opening half an hour.
But that might lift Charlton, and Hughes, he's clearly in the mood. Here he is again, the former Birmingham man. Once signed by Trevor, as he was saying earlier on.
Yes, he was always a good finisher, Brian. Often at Birmingham, when we did shooting practice, he was the best finisher at the club. So it didn't surprise me when he scored from that situation.
Luke Young, and they get a free kick here. Charlton. They're really going to have to dig deep now, Crystal Palace. Can they pick themselves up again? They've had to do it so many times this season. And now it's Fulham 2, Norwich 0. It's Murphy, driven with pace. Oh, and nearly a goal for Johansson, who hooked it so close to that near post.
Well, it was a clever work free kick from Danny Murphy. They all expected the ball into the air for an aerial challenge. In fact, he plays it low. It's a side-foot volley from Johansson, and he almost put Charlton 2 up.
Good technique, wasn't it? Palace could so easily be ahead in this game. They're behind. And to be fair to Charlton, they might have been further behind as well, because they've suddenly come to life here, the home side. Here's Konchesky. Hughes lays it off him. Konchesky was brought down, and Charlton will have a free kick.
As Kishlshev stayed on his feet for a second, then lost balance. Definitely fell by Soares. As Konchesky was looking to get on the end of the 1-2 from Brian Hughes.
Yellow card here for Tom Soares. I think it's going to be one anyway. Yeah.
Not so sure it warranted a yellow card. A little bit of contact there. I think as Konchesky was running at full pace, he just lost his balance. It was a little nudge from Tom Soares. Certainly didn't warrant a yellow card.
Now Danny Murphy, master of all the set pieces for Charlton. Not one of his better ones, that one, though. Johansson. Soares, good challenge by Kishlshev. Karkouri coming forward from the back. He likes to score. Johansson's in here! Into the side netting. Was the flag up? Yes, it was. It would have been offside.
Yes, you can see Johansson just get in there a little bit early, but he's actually in line, isn't he? That's not a good decision by the assistant referee.
Charlton increasingly determined to finish their season with a win after the rough run that they've had late on. Lovely play by Hughes. Konchesky's in here. Bartlett's fallen into space. It's Bartlett off Popovic, and then behind off Bartlett. Took a deflection on the way through. Corner kicks the decision.
Well, Konchesky and Hughes are starting to cause problems. Hughes placing Konchesky. Bartlett pulls off, snatches at it with his left foot. It comes back to Fitzall, who almost puts it into his own net.
Yeah, I thought it had gone back to Bartlett. It actually deflected behind off a Palacc player, and that's why Charlton have this corner. Karkouri was always the boss. Now, can he get a counter-attack moving fast here? Routledge. Watson. Good ball from Watson. Kishlshev is across. He plays that anchor role in the midfield, the Bulgarian. He used to be a right back, but he's very, very versatile. They take it quickly here. Hughes. Away by Fortune. Now then, Granville sitting up nicely for the volley. Good block from Bartlett. Even he was back defending. Leigertwood. Konchesky rather misjudged it in the air, but just flicked the top of his head, so it will be a Palacc throw. They'll feel that they need to try and bite back if they can before the break. You just wonder where this drama is going next, not only here but at 3 other grounds this afternoon. Butlerfield. Watson did well to make something of that. It's a miscue by Karkouri, and he was a bit lucky to get away with that. Granville. Throw deep towards Routledge. This time Konchesky times his leap a bit better. Butlerfield, Palacc beginning to pose a few questions again. That's to the near post. This time Hughes, Brian Hughes, the goal scorer, gets it behind for the corner.
Hughes took up an excellent near post position there to defend that excellent cross.
A Palacc corner. Fitzhall is in there. Popovic is in there. Johansson is in there. Flicked on. Great chance for Crystal Palace. Smuggled away.
It was Johansson, Ian, who took it off the head of Tom Soares. Great flicking on the near post. Kiely came for it, couldn't get there. He was just about to drop onto Tom Soares' head when Johansson came in with a timely intervention.
You have to say good defending, Charlton, for that. And they did score with their first attack, but they've looked a threat since then, and they'll argue that they're due something to go their way. Watson. 2 minutes of time will be added on at the end of the half here. And a reminder, Norwich are 2-0 down at Fulham. Southampton drawing 1-1 with Manchester United. West Brom 0, Portsmouth 0.
The fourth against short as indicated with an additional 2 minutes time to be played.
Free kick to Crystal Palace. Still time for them in this half. Surely too far to hit one. Hughes surveys the options, one of which might be Butlerfield on that right-hand side, who's in a bit of space. Go for the chip up. Popovic with an attempted back header, which might just have worked because he did get there.
Well, it appears, Ian, that Charlton are going to half-time 1-0 to the good. And I have to say that's against the run of play, because Palacc have been the better side, despite the fact they're a goal behind. As far as I'm concerned, this is a game that is there for the taking. There's nothing that they've seen in the first half that's going to unduly concern them. And you just wonder whether Ian Dowie will consider bringing on Ventola or even Freedman. Probably Ventola, because certainly they need a little bit more going forward.
Murphy here for Charlton. Hughes. Johansson tries to flick it back for Hughes, and in the end Butlerfield does well. Concedes the corner kick, but Charlton were threatening a second there. They might argue, Trevor, that although Palacc have had more of the possession, they've carried a bit more of the threat.
Yeah, since Brian Hughes got the first goal, he's been Charlton's best attacking player. Linked up really well there with Johansson. And it wasn't for Danny Butlerfield with a timely intervention with his head, Brian Hughes would probably have made it 2-0.
Danny Murphy's corner kick goes a long way. It hit fortune, I think, and that's half-time anyway. Work for Crystal Palace to do in the second half. The way things are standing for Ian Dowie's side, they're going to need 2 goals in that second half to have a hope of staying up, but things could go on elsewhere to help them out. But they'll certainly need 1. If they don't score in the second half, they will be relegated. Charlton are 1 up. Brian Hughes, the goal scorer. It's Charlton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Charlton Athletic are not going to match 7th place last year, a splendid achievement for them, but it's been another season when they've been well clear of the relegation argument. If only Palace could say the same. Charlton getting a free kick straight away for a foul on the man who got that goal, Brian Hughes, in the first half. Murphy to swing this in deep. It was away by Hall to Watson, battling away well in that midfield and trying to pick up Andy Johnson, who again is having to play without too much support around him, as he's done for much of the season. But to what effect has he done it with 20 goals? Only Thierry Henry can beat that in the Premiership. Watson. Cut out by Jonathan Fortune, beginning to establish himself in the centre of that Charlton defence these days. Butlerfield. Hughes for Palace. Butlerfield on the volley, interesting idea. El Karkouri got it away, the Moroccan. Soares. Konchesky hustling him out of it, now settled again at Charlton. Paul Konchesky. There was a long period where he was on the transfer list, went off to Spurs. Of course, now there's going to be a card here for Konchesky.
Tit for tat there. First half, it was a foul by Soares on Konchesky, which produced a yellow card for young Tom Soares. Right at the start of the second half, late challenge from Konchesky on Soares, and in the book he goes.
So what can Palace cook up here? Ben Watson to take the free kick. A lot of players forward. Andrew Johnson's one of them, gets the shot away, couldn't really get much on it. He was in the sitting down position as he hit it, that's why. Palace didn't need that. I'm sure the news from the other grounds will have filtered through to them at half-time. Murphy laying it forward. Johansson, who came close in the first half and might do again here. He's got him behind here. Jonathan Johansson! Oh, Hughes had made a run, but it was behind him. Butlerfield long. Hughes nods it down. I just wonder with sides at the bottom where there comes a point where the players have emotionally given just about all they can give. Lovely move here from Charlton. Konchesky, Holland is arriving. Well played by Butlerfield to block the cross.
Absolutely vital block that was from Butlerfield. This is the previous occasion when Johansson goes to the byline looking for Brian Hughes. He's just behind him.
On comes Freedman, whose goal 4 years ago prevented Crystal Palace from sinking into the third tier of English football. Danny Butlerfield will come off, so there'll be a reorganisation here for certain by Palace, who presumably are going to 3 at the back here, and will push Freedman into attack. Long servant of Crystal Palace, of course, in a couple of spells, Freedman, as he got a part to play in this relegation thriller. Here is Freedman's first involvement. Tries to find Johnson. He and Dowie hoping those two can link up to good effect. Certainly worth a shot. They've got to gamble now, Trevor.
Well, they've got to get back into the game. Doesn't matter how they do it, but obviously by bringing on an extra forward, it asks 1 or 2 questions of the Charlton back four. You know, I have to say, at the start of the second half, I found it rather too comfortable. Palace the better side in the first half. In the second half, Charlton have been much better. I think they've improved since they went to 4-4-2. Whilst they were playing 4-5-1, they weren't able to mount an attack.
And there might be more going on here because Jonathan Johansson was trying to get through, but Fitzhall got in an important foot. It's Kishlshev. Going to do a bit of fetch and carry. Charlton fans basking in the sunshine, and despite their bad recent run, very much in the comfort zone. Well, this has fallen behind for Freedman. Wonderful chance for Palace. Freedman has done it. He's put Crystal Palace level with only his second touch of the ball. How about that for an inspired substitution?
Well, it was needed, and it couldn't have fallen to a calmer player than Freedman. He took his time. It made it look so easy. Here's the header. It's not a convincing one. He takes one touch. Kiely off his line. It's an easy opportunity for Freedman. Can't be missed. But you don't expect him to miss with this. Plenty to aim for. Calmness personified, and an easy finish for Freedman.
It's his first Premiership goal of the season, would you believe? Freedman. He's got a couple of others in other competitions, but what a time to score it. Palace can see hope again. They now need Manchester United to win at Southampton, and for West Bromwich Albion not to win against Portsmouth. But they can see a little light at the end of the tunnel. Extraordinary. Now can Crystal Palace go on and win it? It's Watson. Johnson's pulling away into space. Support's arriving. Routledge and Freeman. Johnson wants to go alone. Great block by Karkouri. But what a strange old game. Palace were dominating it and Charlton took the lead. Charlton looked comfy and Palace equalised.
Well, I mentioned to you that Charlton needed something to give them to think about it at the back, because it's been too easy for the back four in the second half for Charlton. And immediately Freedman comes on, another forward, and immediately you saw the result.
Well, listen to this news coming in though from the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 1, Portsmouth 0. Now that puts West Brom, if it stays as it is everywhere, they will be the team who stay up, and what a remarkable achievement that would be. But hey, hang on, There's stuff going on all over the place here. Let's just concentrate on what goes on here, because Palacc now believe they might be able to go on and win this. Watson plays it in there. It flashes off ahead at the near post. Palacc are insistent that was a Charlton head, but the goal kick is given.
Not an easy decision to give, but absolutely nothing wrong with this decision. The touch sets him up for a little lob over the advancing Kiely into the unguarded net.
And now Manchester United do lead by 2-1 at Southampton. Another twist in this remarkable story on this pretty amazing day. If Palacc win here, they can stay up, and Freedman looking to break onto the end of that. Karkouri got it away. It's so tense. Play back here towards Freedman. Luke Young can't get it. Routledge can. Routledge to measure one, and it was disappointing.
It was. You expected more. He found himself a couple of yards of space. He tried to curl it with his right foot, but it didn't trouble Kiely. But all of a sudden now, that confidence that seemed to be draining out of Palacc has come flooding back since Freeman scored.
Here's the goal again. So can Thomas make a difference for Charlton? Freedman certainly is for Palacc. He's already scored one. Johansson on the turn, brought down on the edge of the box there. And this is a dangerous area for a free kick. It was Fortune's challenge. This is a big spell for Palacc here, Trevor.
It is. If you remember, going into half-time, Ian, despite the fact Palacc were a goal behind, I said to you that this game is still there for the taking. I wasn't convinced by Charlton that first 45 minutes.
And they're having an argument about whether they should have a player back on the line to defend the free kick. That's what they're going to do. Of course, that plays a lot of the Palacc men onside in behind and obscures the goalkeeper's vision a little. Now Granville is one of those who's interested. Johansson, of course, is on the scene. Granville can take a mean free kick with his left foot. Key moment here at the Valley. 1-1 as we stand. Palacc looking for the win that might keep them up. It's Andrew Johansson. And it all comes to nothing in the end.
Well, I'm not quite sure what the referee's actually given.
Well, I was just trying to work that out.
I was looking to see if the assistant had given a free kick for offside, but I can only assume there was a foul that had taken place in the box that Mr. Clattenburg had spotted.
Yeah, a bit of pushing maybe by Popovic. But to be honest with you, we're guessing on that one. Now then, here's Johansson. This is difficult for the defenders, but in the end, Kiely can come and claim it and hit it long. Oh, Freedman's got in behind here. Mistake by Karkouri. Johansson, can he get it? There's a claim for handball, and it's given. Penalty kick. The handball is given. Fortune. Well. Crystal Palace, who've had more penalties than any other side in this league, and Johansson, who's put 10 of them away, presumably to take it. And might it just be the moment for Crystal Palace? How big a penalty is this?
Well, what an effect Dougie Freedman's had on this game. Quite clear this is a handball. He's unselfish here, Dougie Freedman. He could have shot with the outside of his right foot. Tries to play it to the advancing Andrew Johansson, and quite clearly Fortune handles the ball. And what an opportunity this is for Andrew Johansson to put Palacc into the lead.
He has to be nerveless somehow. This may be the penalty that keeps Crystal Palace up. It is Andrew Johansson. He's done it! Palace are 2-1 up, and they can sense salvation. 21 for the season for Andrew Johnson, but that doesn't matter. He was cool hand Luke there.
What a great penalty this is by Andrew Johnson. He's so calm, no nerves, strokes it with the inside of his right foot, right in the corner, enough pace on it. Kiely goes the opposite direction. It's only what Palace deserve.
I think the referee showed a yellow card there to Johnson in the aftermath of that. We'll just check on that. Maybe for overdoing the celebrations. That does seem harsh in all the circumstances, doesn't it? I mean, he didn't take his shirt off or anything. Oh well. Well, as things stand, Crystal Palace will stay up with this result. West Brom are leading Portsmouth 1-0. That would give them 34. Palace leading here, that would give them 35. Southampton losing at home to Manchester United, 32. Norwich seemingly down and out at Fulham, 3-0 last we heard, on 33. It's there now for Ian Dowie's side. Kishlshev, what a turnaround, second half, and it's all come about since Dougie Freedman came on. He hasn't had that many games this season, and he was instrumental again there.
He was, Ian, but it was crying out for another striker. Andrew Johnson has been exceptional this season, often by himself. He needed some support, because you could sense that Charlton were not absolutely bang at it this afternoon.
Murphy. If Charlton score one, it changes round again, remember. And now suddenly they come forward. Konchesky. This is incredible stuff, it really is. I think the coolest blokes, you know, are the ones who are actually playing in the game. Certainly nobody who's watching it. It's Kishlshev now. As Charlton try to come back again. Oh, was there a pull there on Bartlett? And then a vital save from Karkouri to deny Johansson in there. That might have been a good penalty shot, you know. Routledge. Crystal Palace hearts in mouths a moment or two ago as Bartlett went down in the box.
I thought Bartlett was outside the box. That was my first impression.
Certainly there was a bit of shirt tugging. Johnson again. Look at this. How cool is this? Well, you can't blame him, can you? Fitzpatrick is there for Crystal Palace. He limps away from the challenge, but I think nothing's going to get him off that pitch at the moment. He wants a bit of treatment, I think. He's not going to get it yet. Fitzpatrick. That might be a free kick. There was a bit of a rash challenge, to be honest with you, from Leigertwood, and it's given Charlton a free kick in a quite promising position.
Absolutely unnecessary. A little bit over-anxious, Leigertwood, trying to win the ball.
Played towards the back post, and Fortune got there! Well, is that the goal that's going to keep West Bromwich Albion up? 2-2. Late goal for Charlton Athletic. Jonathan Fortune, the defender whose handball had given away the penalty at the other end, scores with a header now. And this, you sense, is vital.
Well, it's a catalogue of errors. Ball played in with plenty of pace. Kiely comes for it. He's not sure. Popovic leaves it thinking he's going to get there. It's a free header from Fortune. Ian, I spoke to you about that unnecessary free kick from Leigertwood. How unnecessary is that now?
Oh, that looks just absolutely massive. They can't believe it. He just climbed all over the back of the striker, did Leigertwood, and from the free kick, Charlton are level. And when the news of that filters through to the Hawthorns, the place is going to just erupt, isn't it? Now it's Charlton fans who are enjoying this topsy-turvy afternoon here. Konchesky. Thomas plays it in. Karkouri gets it this time.
And that's what he should have done with a free kick. He came halfway, didn't get there. Popovic, I think, left it to him when probably should have still gone for the challenge.
Watson. Palacc need another one now. A draw's not going to be enough with West Brom 2-0 up against Portsmouth.
But whatever way you look at it, Ian, it was a bad goal to concede. It was a good enough ball played in from Thomas, plenty of pace on it, but it's the type of ball that Palacc should have dealt with comfortably.
How's your heartbeat, Trevor?
It's a tense affair, but we knew it was going to be like this. Nothing was going to be straightforward this afternoon.
And we're two of the only neutrals in the ground. Goodness knows what it's like for fans of the four sides involved in this argument. Routledge feeding it wide. Now Hughes, plenty of Palace players in there, and comes to Freedman. Great save by Kiely. Nearly enough there by Freedman, who's still wondering how Kiely kept it out.
Well, it's quite remarkable that Freedman finds himself in so much space. There's nobody within 3 yards of him. The volley was clinical with his right foot. He thought he'd scored, but once again Kiely produces a brilliant reflex save.
Hughes, Johansson and Freedman waiting in the middle. Johansson goes in for it. Fortune got it away. Soares now for Crystal Palace, who was safe 2 minutes ago, but not now. Freedman tries to turn on it. Gets a few jeers from the Charlton fans.
This is the chance. Konchesky goes in too narrow, falls to Freedman, who has the time to actually bring it down. He elects to hit it on the volley, but it's a brilliant save from Kiely, low down to his right. Strong hand, keeps it out.
He's been a key player in the drama as well. One absolutely memorable save in the first half. Kishlshev now for Charlton. But what a season, Trevor. Here we are in the last 5 minutes or so of the season. We still don't know who's going down.
We certainly don't, and it's the same story elsewhere. Obviously Norwich are out of it now. Southampton and West Brom are still very much in it, as are Palace. They are going to make another change now. Darren Powell's coming on. Remember the goal he got last year in Sunderland in the semi-final? Extra time, last minute. That was enough to get them into the final. They're probably looking for the same again now. He's such a danger on set pieces. If they win any corners, look for Darren Powell coming up for corners. I have a feeling, Ian, there's another twist to come here yet.
Do you?
I do.
Do you?
I don't think this is all over.
3 minutes of added time to be played. Trevor Francis can feel something in his bones, and Palace do have a free kick.
Last 4 games I've watched, Ian, I've seen 21 goals. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a 22nd.
You are the man at the moment.
They've all been relegation battles, may I add.
Say something about the defences involved, but that's a debate for another time, because here's the Palace free kick now to be taken by their skipper. Hughes flicked on and easy in the end for Kiely. Fitzhall was the player in there.
Did you notice how many Palace players were in the opposing penalty box there? They had 8 players in the box.
Well, they've got to do that, haven't they, now? 1 point isn't enough. Be quite happy with a point away from home. Not here, not now. Offside. Johansson.
And at the moment they're sending Popovic into a more advanced position. Look how many players they've got forward. They're going for broke, they have to.
Desperation stuff now from Crystal Palace. Seconds ticking away. Riihilahti's long throw, the goalkeeper's come for it, and he's claimed it as well. Dean Kiely.
That's excellent goalkeeping by Kiely. He's not the biggest, but he came over defenders and he took it cleanly. Didn't need to punch it.
Fulham 6, Norwich 0 is a result. They are going to be relegated, and Southampton will be down 2. They've lost 2-1 at home to Manchester United. West Brom still leading 2-0. That will be enough if there are no more goals here. Palace need one more goal to stay up, and we're in stoppage time. It's Leigertwood. It's aimed towards Popovic. Charlton get it away again, and they keep possession too with the jet-heeled Rommedahl. He's on his own. He's going to take them all on here, is he? He tried to. It was worth a try to.
How well did Michael Hughes do there?
Offside here. Offside against Powell. West Brom have won 2-0. This is the last match in progress, and West Bromwich Albion fans, I'm sure, will be following what is going on here now. Ian Dowie is going to have to face the reality.
I think it's all over here.
Has he blown for the time? He has! He's blown for time! Crystal Palace are relegated again. They were 10 minutes or so away from survival, but then they gave away a free kick. Jonathan Fortune equalised, and that point is not enough for Crystal Palace. It is West Bromwich Albion who will survive quite remarkably. Desperation for these players who gave it everything here this afternoon in the sunshine. They came so close, but Palace are going back to the Championship after just one season in the top flight, and there is a huge sense of anticlimax. You can only feel sorry for the Palace players, Trevor.
Well, as a footballer, you can only give of your best. And I think this afternoon, every Crystal Palace player is given their absolute maximum.
Desperate times. They're trying to put a brave face on it, but there can be no brave face. The agony of relegation for Crystal Palace. Charlton 2, Crystal Palace 2.
Ian, how much of a roller coaster afternoon was that for you?
Well, I've certainly had better afternoons. You know, I think it was bizarre at half-time, really, because we've dominated the first half. You know, our passing, our movement, our chance creation was excellent. Kiely's made a couple of great saves to keep them in the game. They have one opportunity and they score. And then we had a little dodgy 5 minutes. But so it was a difficult one. How do we play it? But I felt we needed to change it soon after half-time. We get ourselves back in the real shake of it, looking very comfortable, and we give away a situation. So yeah, it's a massive ups and downs for sure.
You were clearly aware of the implications of that late equaliser at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were aware that West Brom were winning, so we needed a goal. So we thought we got a goal, you know. And if we'd have held out for another 8 minutes, we might be sitting here and talking a different story. But it is that margins, and they're the little moments of concentration. I talked about it all year. They're one of the lessons we need to be learned. But the group of players I've had have been magnificent throughout. I thought they were tremendous today. They played with pride and passion, and they didn't go down with a whimper. They went down with a roar. And if they continue giving me that sort of performance, you know, then I'll continue to be proud as I am now as the manager.
We've never managed really to send the fans home happy here. We always seem to fade away at the end of the season. And I think they're obviously very happy because of the rivalry between us and Palace and everything else. So they've clapped us off. And if we hadn't got that point, or perhaps if Palace hadn't gone down, they may not have clapped us off. You know, we may have had an empty stadium, and so the whole season's work would have been forgotten. And you know, I'm dreadfully disappointed for Palace. They took it right to the wire, same as Norwich and even Southampton. But at the end, you know, someone has to go, and Palace were in a great position. I think a minute to go last week against Southampton, and with 5 or 6 minutes to go here, they was in another great position. So, you know, they will look over the course of a season, and I don't think they're blamed today.
Yeah, we're disappointed in the manner of the goals, but you know, when you're tense and you're anxious, decisions are made, and almost at times willingness to do the right thing sometimes backfires, and it's happened today. But you know, let's not end point blame at people. I think it's the wrong time to do it. You know, what we've got to say is these group of players have gone through fire for me, and I can't ask any more. You know, the players are blameless in all this. They've been terrific.
You very nearly wrote your own script, didn't you, with the Dougie Freedman substitution? He comes on, gets you one goal, makes another.
Yeah, he does indeed. Yeah, you may be thinking, that it's a deliberate handball and maybe there's going to be a change in personnel, but that didn't happen. So, which was surprising enough. But we get ourselves 2-1. You think it's going to happen? That's twice. You think Nicola scoring last week. You're going to write. He's been out all day. He comes on the scores. You think it's going to happen. But as I say, we've got to shape our own destiny. Starting now, we've got to shape our own destiny in the Championship.
So agony for Ian Dowie and Crystal Palace as they return to the Football League. But fortune truly did smile on West Bromwich Albion. After the break, John Gregory is here as we relive exactly